Hello, I'm Extra and welcome back to QnA Saturday. This is the Willy series where I answer your questions which have been asked over the previous week, and it allows us to have a back and forth about your biggest questions regarding life, the universe, and of course Minecraft updates. And speaking of Minecraft updates, we're going to be specifically talking about combat update today because I asked on Twitter that people should tweet me any questions and I'll answer them as long as they include the phrase combat update and a question mark somewhere in there. So those are the only two criteria. We're going to be mostly talking about a combat update because we've known for quite some time now that Mojang is going to do a combat update. They mentioned it in many different places that there will be some new combat system for both Java and Bedrock, which is going to be unlike the system Eva has right now, as a way to bring the PvP community together and to have a combat system which everyone does like. So with that said, let's move to the first question, which comes in from Shattered Life, who asks, why do fans want the combat update? Because the simple answer to why we're getting one is because the fans want it. But why do the fans want it? And the simple answer to this one is that 1.9 combat for Java was very, very controversial. In fact, so controversial that many servers, in fact like a decent percentage to this day, stayed on 1.8 or even went back to 1.7. A lot of servers did not update to that newest version, and that's because they did not like the new combat. It had cooldowns, which meant that the previous way of doing things, if you were great at combat before, it ruined a lot of your edge. And even though it made the game more fair, you might argue, it removed a lot of people's existing advantages, and the click delay, people just didn't like it. It didn't feel Minecrafty to them, so a lot of people stayed on 1.8, and that causes huge rifts in the community. And then think about Bedrock, where people see that the new combat is on Java but not on Bedrock. They ask, when is this coming out? And the simple answer is, we'll wait till we have a better system that everyone on Java at least likes, and then we can have a decent system for Bedrock too. So why do fans want a combat update? Because they either think that combat sucks right now, or they think that it needs to be updated to be the new better combat, and rather than just antagonizing 100 million Bedrock players, why not instead make a system which everyone can at least agree is pretty good, if not great? So that's the answer to your question, but let's move into the second one, which comes in from Riley, who asks, what aspects of Java 1.9 would you like to see in a new combat update? I think sweeping sword hits at the very least should stay, and I agree with this one. I think sweeping sword is the big thing from Java 1.9 you'd need to see. Not necessarily in terms of like every single hit should like hit everything around you, but the sweeping edge enchantment should allow you to do that. I think one of the very few things everyone can agree is universally good is hitting multiple mobs. It's kind of cool because it allows you to save yourself from a horde of zombies when they're in front of you and stuff like that. As long as it doesn't have the cooldown attached to it, I think everyone will agree that sweeping sword, either as an enchantment or as a very weak base effect, would be a cool thing to have. But with that said, let's move to the third question, which comes in from Sebastian Prince, who asks, QnA combat update, why do I have no friends? And the simple answer to this question, Mr. Sebastian Prince, because you clearly didn't pay attention to one of the rules, and I think this goes to show why you don't have many friends. Think about it, right? Like, oh yeah, you need to work out what your friends are feeling and if they want to be around you. You just don't have the social awareness to do that. If you can't read, add a question mark to your question, then are you going to be able to think about whether your friends want to be around you and which people would like to be your friends and which ones wouldn't? Are you going to be able to think about things like, should I take a shower more than once a month? Or should I maybe not put my hand down the back of my trousers and then, like, I don't know, dig around for an hour? Like, those are the sort of questions you're not going to be able to think about in your head, because if you can't follow the basic question mark rule, how are you going to follow any of the social rules that you require to make friends? So yeah, Sebastian Price, that's why you don't have any friends, and I'm glad we've gotten to the bottom of that one. But yeah, just as a little addition here, it's worth mentioning that on the internet, the only way you can display yourself besides your picture and your name is the text in your message. So if it's filled with misspellings or like horrible grammar mistakes or just word order mistakes, if you're a native English speaker, so you don't have an excuse, it just is one of those things that like makes you not look so great on the internet, at least in my opinion. I'm not even a grammar Nazi. I just kind of like it when I can read the words that I would like to read. So yeah, with that said, let's move on to the next question, which moves in from Skymar Craft, who says cave and combat update. And this is a good idea because cave updates are so great, right? We need a cave update. We all know we need a cave update, but what's this needed for combat update? Will that replace the cave update, or will they come together? And I honestly think, knowing there's going to be a combat update soon, it does seem like it could tie into a cave update. Think about it, there's the new weapon table, which is definitely coming in the next update. That signifies something to do with combat, maybe. Think about the fact that, like, oh yeah, if you wanted to have new different combat, mechanics, you could have new ways to get those things, which could require new wars. I think these two updates go perfectly together. Good idea, Skymore Craft. Cave and combat update. If that's what we need to make the cave update happen, I'd be willing to do it. But yeah, I think honestly, there is a small chance that the two updates have some relation. We don't know what, but I'd like to see it. Anyway, with that said, let's move to the next question, which comes in from Jura, who says, Toycat, when the combat update comes out for Minecraft, do you think that sausage and egg McMuffins are a healthy breakfast? So there you can see, very clever, including combat update and also the question mark. But yeah, I'm going to try and tackle this as a whole because, they did technically ask me if this is true after the cave update, update. So I think right now, sausage egg McMuffin is a bit less than healthy, right? Like, you know, it's a good breakfast if you need something filling, but it's not the ideal breakfast, definitely not healthy right now. But after a combat update comes out, think about it. There's going to be riots in the streets. There's going to be a lot of either complaining or a community brought together. You're going to need the strength to deal with that, and I think only a sausage and egg McMuffin can deal with that. By the way, I should mention, I'm a big fan of the double sausage egg McMuffin. I think the regular sausage egg McMuffin just isn't the right balance of like sausage and egg. Like, I don't want 50-50, like egg's great, but it's not 50% of what goes in between my muffin buns. So yeah, double sausage egg is the way to go. My only regret is they have sausage McMuffins, they have double sausage McMuffins, they have bacon McMuffins, and they have double bacon McMuffins, but they don't have a sausage and bacon and egg McMuffin. Why is that not the case? Subway does it. I'm just saying. McDonald's breakfast, you're missing something, because right now, like, I don't do this, but maybe I should. Maybe this is a fun idea for the future, but I would love to, you know, like, have those things together. But right now, you have to buy 2 separate burgers, mix them together. Then you've got 2 spare English muffin buns, and then we've made the healthy breakfast thing even worse. And I'm just saying, it's a tragedy. It's a tragedy we need to fix right now, almost as much as we need a cave update. Which, by the way, bit.ly/cave update, boom. Check it out. But yeah, let's move into the next question here, which comes in from Morning Water, who asks, are the developers going to add any new weapons in the combat update? And I think the answer to this one is potentially, but it's not necessarily the focus. The focus of the combat update, because it's really not going to be its whole own dedicated update. It's not like the Village and Pillage update or the update Aquatic. It's more like, oh yeah, we're going to fix combat in addition to whatever we're doing in that major update. So yeah, because they want the update to be exciting regardless of combat, I imagine. We might see a fully fledged, like, oh yeah, the next update theme is full-on combat update V2, but I think what we'll realistically see is like, oh yeah, we'll fix combat and maybe we'll have some new weapon, but that's not going to be the priority, although maybe that's a good way to get people on board with it. But yeah, we don't expect to see new weapons in the combat update, at least not just yet. So next question comes in from Agent Mindstorm, who says, how do you think the Minecraft movie will go? Combat update, question mark. So yeah, the Minecraft movie will definitely involve combat, and the Minecraft movie will definitely come out after the combat update, because we know the Minecraft movie is like 3 years away. We know that like the combat update will be out by then, so good news, when the Minecraft movie comes out, you'll have new combat to play around with, and you probably would have been bored of it already. But yeah, let's talk about the Minecraft movie, because I didn't really talk about my opinions of it in the video where I referenced it, because I want to just say it's out, it's here, that's a thing. I didn't want to get too much into what I was thinking about it, because honestly, I don't think it sounds like a very good movie. It doesn't seem like I'm the target demographic. I thought they were going to do something interesting. They had the Always Sunny in Philadelphia director, where they could maybe like make a family movie where it's good for the whole family, you know, like kind of like how Spider-Man or what. Think of a movie like that where it's actually interesting to everyone. Avatar's another example where it hits every audience. But I worry the fact that they changed the director, the fact that they pushed it 3 years, and the fact that we got the most basic summary in the world means that they're gonna try and push a very, you know, aimed at the younger demographic audience. And that's a very smart move from a business perspective. It's just, I don't think it's a great move from like a brand/Minecraft perspective. Like, there are literally tens of millions of Minecraft players, you know, above the age of, pick an age, like 18, 20. Like, there are very old Minecraft players out there that aren't gonna have such a great interest. Not all of them have children that they can take and watch this thing. It's kind of like, I don't know, the Angry Birds movie. Like, oh yeah, it's a fun idea, but really, it doesn't hit the right demographic for all the audience. So yeah, I hope that it's going to be great, but I don't actually have high expectations. So yeah, that's my answer. Now you know the truth. But let's move into not so much the truth, which comes in from Gas King 332, who says, combat update, what happened to your series where you go and review realms? And the series is definitely not over. If you want me to be honest, the idea I have in my head right now is I'll do it in like a few weeks. Probably do like, oh yeah, it's Minecraft, but we're colonizing worlds, like how we'll colonize outer space. Because again, I've been on a big outer space kick and like how humanity intends to deal with that. So maybe that'd be a fun like combine 2 video topics in one, like we seem to do there. But yeah, basically, the series is not gone. The series is not dead. I will say that the last episode got a huge amount of controversy. Like literally, you know, some random dude invited me to a world where they built the wall and they had like a thing saying no Mexicans allowed. Like, it was not great humor. It wasn't well built. It wasn't very interesting, but I was just like, oh, that's kind of uncomfortable. And then everyone's like, how dare you, you know, show that in a YouTube video to like, and it's like, this isn't my world. The point is I'm checking out people's worlds. But a lot of people didn't like that. A lot of people found that hugely controversial. I don't understand why that is. I feel like, you know, the content shouldn't be considered to be mine, right? Like, I'm not making these worlds. That's very explicit from the beginning. And yeah, it's just like an interesting little, oh yeah, so there's a layer of controversy to these realms, which maybe like a smarter YouTuber than me would be like, we're going to use this controversy and we're going to just make non-stop videos where we offend everyone. But personally, I was just like, wow, apparently people have different standards than how I assumed they had. So yeah, the series is going to be coming back. It's just one of those things where I think like right now the format where like every month or so we do it is way better than the one where we did it like every week or so. It's just apparently by having the fun talk about history thing and having a few people who are like to talk about world geographic events or whatever leads to some stuff like that. Or maybe maybe it's a non-issue. I don't know for sure, but I just see a lot of people like blowing up about that, and it just seems kind of crazy. Anyway, with that said, let's move into the final question, which comes in from the Pap000, who says, can we have a normal Q&A again? And you know what, the answer to this one is yes. I think it was fun goofing around with the Cape update, and we'll probably do so again at some point in the next like 6 months to a year while we wait for it to happen. But yeah, don't worry, there'll be normal Q&As happening next week. If you want to leave a question for that, leave it in the comments down below, and I'll be answering them for next week. I might do something fun like, oh yeah, we'll answer all the questions, or all the questions, but some weird thing here. But yeah, I definitely intend to go back to normal Q&A. Don't you worry. Next week, we'll have the normal Q&A Saturday returning with your regular scheduled services. So thank you very much for watching this week's Q&A. I hope you did all enjoy it. You can like this video if you did like it, because it helps out the channel a lot. Let's know you do like listening to the questions and hopefully the answers as well. You can share it if you really liked it. You can subscribe if you're around here, and you can turn on notifications if you want to see what's going on with the channel in the future. I've been playing a lot of survival, so you'll probably see that in some upcoming videos, because again, I've just been like really dumping some time into some big projects that I hope you get to see somewhat soon. But yeah, well, thank you very much for watching this video. Looking forward to seeing 1.14/1.11 maybe as soon as next week. It's a big thing, and yeah, I look forward to seeing you there, because we're probably gonna be doing a fair few videos for the release of 1.14. So yeah, Toycat's first like update video day in quite some time is coming soon, and I'm looking forward to joining you there. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.